Hey, what's up, guys? Dr. J, Jason Lipoff, your Team Beachbody coach. Welcome to day number 1. I'm actually recording this on Sunday night, so it's a little bit late. That's why I've got some notes here. Never be afraid to have some notes out because you know what? We don't know everything, and it's important to realize that, and then you use notes when you have to. So today we are going to talk about the power of why, which pretty much starts all this off. You can't really succeed in anything, you can't start effectively until you actually know why you're doing it. It's got to be attached to something real, something strong, something that will weather the forces, so to speak. And so what I'm going to talk about right now is how TNT Nation came about, and why, and also how I ended up tying it into Team Beachbody. My story is a little bit different because a lot of people fell into Beachbody because of their transformations and from doing the amazing fitness program products they had. And for me, it was kind of a different arena because I had all the pieces of the puzzle, except I was missing one aspect of what a successful organization needs to be. And I think part of it is because as a board certified pediatric dentist, busy with my practice and surgery and everything, that really wasn't my forte. So I had to kind of look in some, other areas of my life. It was kind of right out in front of me, and I'll kind of talk about what that means. So what I realized was, I'll give you a little bit of my background. I grew up in Chicago, and I went to college. I went to dental school. I was on active duty in the military for 4 years. And then when I got out of the military, I practiced dentistry in Chicago for a couple of years, but I knew always that wasn't my calling. I never really liked dentistry. I always wanted to do pediatric dentistry. And my reason was because I wanted to make a difference in the lives of children. That wasn't really specific enough, but until it's like a lot of you guys before Team Beachbody, you don't really know how to define your why and things like that, especially if you're in higher education like myself or my other friends that are doctors. Like, your path is just laid out for you, and you are really taught not to think for yourself until proven otherwise. So I ended up applying to pediatric dental residency program. So because I had been out, even though my grades were really, I had really high grades, and I was, at the top of my graduating class, or towards the top, it actually took me 3 years to get into a pediatric dental residency program because, and I quote, they didn't think that I was coachable. They didn't think that I was that I would be a good candidate to go back into residency. But I knew every year I failed, and I went at it again, and eventually I remember that that third year that finally I got accepted, and I started in 2009. I moved back to Florida, and I finished my residency in 2011. I ended up joining a practice in southern Indiana, which is where I am now. And my reason was because as a pediatric dentist, I realized that it's our duty to not go to areas where they're upper class. Where I grew up in the North Shore of Chicago, upper class communities where you're pretty much, it's like a sealant factory where the kids don't have any cavities and the parents are educated. I felt like it was my duty to go to Middle America, where there's tons of kids and there's not enough pediatric dentists, and so there was a need for me. I didn't really know why. So, advancing the story, after being in my practice for like over a year, what I realized was I was making an impact on these kids' lives, or so I thought, but I was just getting busier and busier and doing more and more surgeries, and the cavities were getting worse and worse. And the parents were really nice, and everybody was very receptive to the information that I was giving them about diet, nutrition, and that kind of thing. But there was something that wasn't there, and something that was missing. And so I thought to myself, healthcare in America is, we're in a we're headed towards some real problems in my in my estimation, because even though Obama and the Affordable Care Act, even though I think that they've got a great idea, and I feel like that their mission is to provide more people with health care, what they're doing is they're providing a way for more people to get treated, not necessarily to prevent disease. And the way that you prevent disease is not by educating people. You need to put people in the mindset where they want to be educated and they're motivated to be educated to change. And we really haven't found out a way to do that. I mean, people need to be incentivized to actually change their lives. And coming from the outside, living in middle America, I never realized how big of a problem it was. And I look around and I see so many people. They're flying to Kenya and other places across the world, trying to help the children of America and improve the education of not around America, around the world, and improve the lives of children and people in all these third world countries. When I don't think that we mean to be neglecting the people right in our backyard, but we are. And I feel like that's something that's what my calling is. And so what I figured out was my purpose is to improve the lifestyles of children across the United States, and it starts with middle America. And that's really what my mission is. So I said to myself, well, if I'm going to create an organization that's going to make a difference, okay, you've got to have three parts to an organization. You've got to have you have to have a belief. That's number one, and it's got to be attached to your purpose, and it's got to be really strong. So you've got to it's got to be something that you don't think it's going to succeed, that you know it's going to succeed, that you know that this is the way and it will be done. And so number one, check that off. That's what I've got. That's what you guys, by the way, on a side note, that's what you guys are going to want to say to yourself as you relay your information to your team. You've got to know without a question of a doubt that the process of Team Beachbody works no matter what. And that's what they have to think. Without complete conviction, then they're not going to be able to disseminate their information to their people, their challengers, and their coaches. So number one, really strong belief. You got to know it's gonna succeed no matter what, through all the obstacles, through all the failures, because you're gonna have more people that say no than yes, and you're gonna have more failures than successes. Number two, you got to create a tribe. You have to somehow form a group of like-minded people that believe in what you believe in. And number three is you've got to have business acumen that is going to combine with your core purpose. So the second thing is, all right, so I got to create a group of people that will believe in what I believe. And that's where I developed TNT Nation. TNT stands for Transform and Teach. And I think that that's the way to change the lives of children, is by transforming the principles and the ideas of parents, and they can teach their children and how to live a healthy lifestyle and live with fulfillment and happiness. Because the answer is not teaching our children. You've got to teach the adults, and they can teach the children. So it's got to be a process. And so the one missing link is really the business acumen combining with the core purpose. And my background, I've got a lot of I have a lot of business sense, and I've got a lot of business education. I've done a lot of investing. I'm very smart with working business models, and I know what works, I know what doesn't work. But I needed something that was bigger and something that's proven, and that's where Team Beachbody came in. Team Beachbody is, by the end of the year, they've got gross revenue $460 million. They have a track record that's better than anybody that I had ever researched. And to be honest with you, I love the idea of multi-level marketing, network marketing, to spread an idea. And the core purpose of Team Beachbody, which is to help people achieve their goals, to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. That is exactly what I want to do, except I want to do it for adults, and then in its its core essence, benefiting children. So that's really how Team Beachbody came into play, and that's kind of my why. and that's also kind of the background of it all. Now, what we're going to be talking about from now on is going to be in terms of mind, body, movement. What are the three principles for for creating a solid foundation? Because if you're going to, that's great that you've got a bunch of like-minded people, but how are you going to disseminate that information? How are you going to set people up? Somebody that comes in and they don't know anything, how are you going to set them up for success? And when I looked at Team Beachbody, I think that they do a lot of things right. However, is that the training's there, but not everybody is privy to it. Not everybody does it in the right steps. So they kind of put people in these accountability groups, and I think those are great. And they give people, diet plans and nutrition and fitness programs. However, my belief is that you need to develop your mind first, and that's the first thing. And if you don't develop your mind, you can fuel your body all you want, you can embrace in movement all you want, but you know what? It's only going to be as good as your successes, because one failure, and unless you know how to establish emotional control, you're just, it's going to be a real question mark with how you succeed. And as a coach, you're going to be kind of backpedaling. So I think that the whole point of this week is to give you guys a solid foundation to give back to your team and your coaches on how to really guarantee, or rather give them the best opportunity to succeed, and you'll be giving them all the tools. So I'll kind of ended it there, and I'm gonna write in my little narrative a little bit of a to-do list, a little bit of homework for you guys to write real quickly, and have a great day. Hopefully I give you guys enough time to write some things. And I apologize if I'm a little bit tired. We were driving today all the way from Bedford, so it was a long day, and we just got done with plyo strength intervals, so it was good. And then these hats, by the way, these are my new hats. That's actually the logo, the brand mark for TNT Nation, and that's what I want for you guys. When I wear this, when I'm giving this to everybody in my team, it's like the Apple sign. Like this, it represents something. And that's what I feel when I talk about my purpose. I talk about my why. And when people wear this, when anybody joins TNT Nation, they're part of something. So whether Team Next Level, Team Ripped, whatever, you want to find out what your identity is, what's your purpose, and what do you believe in? Do you believe in this? Do you believe in something else? You just want to find out what that is. You got to have complete conviction before you move forward. So have a good night, guys, and I'll talk to you later.